Middle, Nikki.
Okay.
Where were you?
I'm building up to him.
Wait, I'll stay on.
I died. I didn't click the
Good, Nicky, nice.
Nice. Yeah, hit him once and then. Oh, that's really good.
Okay, as an aggro player myself, I'm making this video to help more people that enjoy this position get better. Being an aggro player is not only about doing dumb rushes and dying over and over. Trust me, I have done that mistake many times. We will start by something called stalling. If this is not the most important thing while being an aggro player, it is one of the most important ones. Let's first start by defining stall. Stall. Stop or cause something making progress. Your job as an aggro player is for you to buy time for your team so you can keep mid for as long as possible. If you're confused right now and you don't really know how to scrim, I would recommend for you to watch Nerferrid's video on how to scrim. That will be linked in the description. There is a lot of ways on how to stall your opponent. For example, ring stalling. This is a type of stall where you would make a ring around your enemy's base and run around it, trying not to get killed. As we can see in this clip, we have a really good example of how to do this method of stalling.
More than a few. I will.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay,
I
have a blow.
sued one of their splits. They did not get the chain. They need to buy a second chain.
I'm baking a lot.
Okay, so I kind of sued like 30.
Another way you can stall is by just making yourself a platform and hitting off whoever is trying to get on your platform. Not killing them, but hitting them off. You have to remember, your health is really important when you are stalling. You are trying to stay alive for as long as possible. As you can see here, this is a great setup for you to continue a stall.
Base with bows are so free down. Alright, there's like 3 iron swords in chest.
It's a V1 Pioneer. Yeah, take him. Nice. Just bang. Try to hold
Yeah.
The first thing you should notice I'm doing is that I'm trying to take as less damage as I can and avoiding the fight against Delta. Next, you see me building up, trying to set up an efficient stall for me to use later. After that, I do a simple movement that helps me get Delta off my stall and continue for a longer time. There is many other ways you can stall, but we will be here all day if I list them all. Now that we have an idea what stalling is, we can move on to treasure breaks. Getting treasure breaks should not be your number one priority. As I said before, stalling is way more important than just ruining your stall for a treasure break. Of course, if you have the chance to get the treasure and you're 100% sure you can get that treasure, by all means, drop and try to get the treasure. But if you are doubting yourself and you don't really know if you can get the treasure, please continue the stall. As you just saw in the background footage, I dropped as soon as I knew I was going to get the treasure. I was not going to drop when I saw 2 people at base watching me.
Okay, I'm going back to big 6.
Okay.
Nicky man, it looks like he's trying to get knockback boomboxes.
Yeah, right.
I would recommend always having a teammate when you're trying to get the treasure, because getting a treasure with 2 people is way easier than trying to get it by yourself. This is an example of a team treasure breaks while me and Crazy Elf are trying to get the treasure against Still Young on CVC. While I was distracting, there are 2 defenders that they had on treasure. I called them Crazy Elf that was on their side and just had an easy blocking. Of course, you're not always going to have a teammate there to help you, so you should also practice your blockings by yourself. A great way for you to practice your blockings is to get a friend and just practice over and over until you get better and better. Having a blocking practice roll is also great to improve that skill. This is how I block in, but it really depends on you which block-in type you're going to use. Personally, I block in while butterfly clicking because it helps my aim, but there are such players like a Joy Kid YT that block in while jitter clicking. but I would highly recommend, if you are not an experienced jitter clicker that has pretty good aim, to just stick to butterfly clicking your blockings. Finally, I would just like to say, treasures may seem nice, but you should never risk your own treasure over theirs. It would be better for you to help your teammates on defense than rather you risking the whole scrim over a dumb play. Moving on to mid. Just because your role is being an aggro/stall player, you should never refuse to collect M's. Helping your team out in mid is also part of your job. Of course, not as much as a dedicated player for mid, but if needed, you must be willing to do the job. Your comms are also really important on the team because you're going to be the person that's going to be telling your whole team where people are at all times. You have to communicate if people are going mid, how many people you have stalled, if there's someone bypassing to your base. All of that is really important information your whole team should be knowing at all times. Now, I'm going to ask some of the aggro/stall players I've played with and ask them for their point of view on this position and what tips they can give us. Hello, Mr. McDonald's. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so what do you think is the best way to stall?
So you go onto the bridge and you right click really fast, and then you build like a tower, and then you hit the other people down, and it stalls them.
Okay, Mr. McDonald's, when should you drop for a treasure break?
You should drop on the treasure break when your heart feels right, when all the dots connect and all the stars align, and you think to yourself, "Can I get this treasure?" And then the spirits will guide you your
Yeah,
way to get the treasure.
you have to
And
wait for the right
then
time.
you just have to block in. Yes, perfect.
Wait for the right time. Let's go.
Yeah,
All right.
wait for the right time.
Would you recommend this position for newer players?
I would say only if you're good. Like, I don't want no Sebstar YT going for a stall. Like, only if you're good at bridge fights and if you're good at like PvP and like aiming and like clutching. Like, I'm obviously not good at clutching, but I'm still the best staller because I'm the best bridge fighter on Hive. Like,
Indeed, indeed. Okay, this is all from Mr. McDonald's. What do you think is the best way to stall?
Probably making like a platform on top of their base, kind of just dropping down little by little, like spamming the treasure a little bit.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Okay,
that's about.
when do you think you should
That's
drop for a treasure break?
Either when someone's coming up for you, and you can get them low enough, like after you knock them down like a bunch of times.
Okay. Do you think you
That's
should
probably
drop
the
on a
best.
treasure when there's 3 people on base?
No, no, okay, well, no, obviously not. But
Okay, okay,
if there's 2 people there and you're a solo stall, which would be the logical thing.
okay.
If there's someone going up for you, you would hit them down multiple times until they're really low. You'd go for that person, and go back up, and then probably drop down on it if it's a solo.
Okay. Would you recommend the position for newer players?
No, 'cause you have to learn how to actually work your blocks. Like if you can't place blocks and you can't clutch, I wouldn't recommend
Okay.
like stalling at the start.
Okay, this is all Mr. Elfzo. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. As you could probably noticed, they both said you have to be really good with your blocks and movement. Something that really helped me was playing Hypixel Bridge. That really held my mechanics and how I played the game overall. I would really encourage for you to play Hypixel Bridge because it will not only help you with your movement, but it will help your overall game awareness. Now that I've told you about my experience as an aggro/stall player, you should be ready to show it in the future scrims. Hope this video was useful for you. I also wanted to thank the players that helped me in the interviews. I will be linking their channels in the description. Also, a big thanks to Scrim Academy for sponsoring this video. You should really go check them out. I'll be leaving their Discord in the description. As well, they host Scrims Daily and they're currently hosting a $200 CVC. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys found this video useful, please let me know in the comments. And if you guys want any more type of videos like this, also let me know. Bye.